feet with this one. Subscribe to the channel, support the channel as well. Got to talk about these fathers in boxing. Great relationship to have your father in your life. For those who gonna bash me, they gonna try to come on and say things. I grew with my father my whole life. My mother and my father are still married to this day. Before you try to come in and say anything about what I'm about to say. Now in the sport of boxing, we got a lot of father-son duos out here. We got Floyd Schofield, his son. We got Teofimo, his dad. We got, I think, Abdullah Mason, his dad. Sean Porter, his father. Danny Garcia, his dad. And who else we got out here, father, son? Okay, but let's just break it down how I'm finna talk about it. These fathers are destroying their sons' careers. They're trying to be their trainers. They're trying to be their managers. And at some point, these fathers should, just step aside. First, I know some people are going to say, well, look at Floyd Mayweather. One reason y'all say this because Floyd Mayweather grew up with his father. His father trained him, and Floyd left the game undefeated. But there will never be another Floyd Mayweather or a duo like that. And I'm going to explain to you why there will never be another duo like Floyd Mayweather Sr. and Floyd Mayweather. The reason that Floyd was so good, and if you're not willing to do this, because to me, boxing is like guerrilla warfare. It's a contact sport. You get hit in your head at any time. You could die. You become a vegetable. So boxing is very dangerous, just like going to war. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the point of this, if your son was going to war and you had the opportunity to prepare him before he went to real war, would you let him train with a guy that's never been to war, or would you let him train with a guy that's been in the Marines and he's special ops? Of course, you're going to let him train with the guy who a Marine and special ops, right? It's the same thing with boxing. The reason you will never see another Floyd Mayweather again, and why, is because Floyd Mayweather's father put hands on Floyd Mayweather to make him perfect like that. Floyd Mayweather said that out his own mouth. My father used to check me. He made me perfect. He made me not have mistakes. He made me the fighter I am today. When he was fighting Manny Pacquiao, and he said, I remember everything you taught me. I'll never forget it. The reason Floyd was so good because his father, and I ain't saying abuse your sons. Let me say that first. I ain't saying that. But the reason Floyd was so good because his father knew what the sport was about. He knew his son could get hurt. He wanted his son to be a legend and have a great career. And he put hands and checked Floyd Mayweather for his mistakes. That's not going on in the sport of boxing no more, and we will never see another Floyd Mayweather. These fathers out here, most of them, from what I understand, never really had a real career. Brian Norman, which I don't like Brian Norman, Sean Porter father, Kenny Porter, it goes on and on. Most of these fathers never had a career of their own in boxing. Me being a father, I would never want to put my son in a sport where he could possibly die. And I want the notoriety and I want the 10%. Yeah, is it good keeping the family and the money? Great, keeping the family and the money. It's good still growing up and watching your son grow and the son having a great father and son relationship. Great having that. But at the same time, this sport is too dangerous for the father to want to be there like P. Diddy, all in the videos and getting all the notoriety. It's too dangerous. At some point, a father has to step aside, move out the way, and let somebody else come in to help that fighter grow. Yes, you brought them to a certain point. I know a lot of people are going to say that, hey, this father made his son a champion. This father made his son champion. But what about the losses with them becoming champions? A lot of fights that a lot of these fathers who training their sons have wouldn't have happened if they stepped aside and brought a real legitimate trainer in and helped their son. But they so caught up in the limelight. They so caught up in wanting to be seen. They so caught up in getting them 10% and keeping the money in the family that they're not even looking at the fact that this is a dangerous sport. And let me step aside and bring somebody in who's been officially a fighter and who's been in the ring, who's been knocked down before, who's had a cut over their eye, who's been bleeding out of the eye and had to still fight. Their hand was hurting and still had to fight. These are the people who should be training fighters. If you look at certain careers that's going on right now, I'm going to give you the Brian Norman situation, Boots Ennis situation. Brian Norman, his father, which I don't like his father because he disrespected the fans, talking crazy to the fans. Somebody, the fans broke this, that, and the other. They can't pay for tickets. Same thing Kenny Porter did. But You messed up your son's chance to become unified. You're on camera saying that this is y'all king, but that could have been y'all that night if you wasn't simply trying to tell your son to watch Boots' pockets. Y'all could have walked away with a unification victory if that would have been the same Boots that would have fought your son when he just fought the Karen boy. These fathers should not be managers, because let's go back to Floyd Mayweather. These fathers need to ask their son, do you want to make money or do you want a legacy? They may say both. Well, son, you may realize that you're going to probably have to take some stuff that you don't want to take to get to the top. It may be a money situation that you're going to have to take in order for you to get to the top. That's what Brian Norman should have been telling his son instead of going out there worried about how much Boots getting paid. If y'all was sure y'all could beat him, like Floyd Mayweather did, he went and fought Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya determined everything. It made Floyd great right after he beat him. They don't want to do that now. So are these fighters out here really looking for just the paydays, which they should be because they are prize fighters, but are they really out there trying to be great as well? Because Brian Norman Sr., sir, you just destroyed your son's chance. Now he got to wait a little bit longer to probably get unified, when you could have fought Boots for whatever he sent y'all, and y'all would have probably beat him from the way he looked with Karen. Sean Porter. Sean Porter had one of the best jabs out there. Best jabs in boxing. Yeah, he ran around. He had, did the football player style. We all know that about Sean Porter. But Sean Porter, salute to him, was a warrior, fought everybody else. But imagine Sean Porter with a trainer that taught him the fundamentals. Imagine Sean Porter after the Kell Brook loss, that's when his father's supposed to step out the way. Imagine a Sean Porter who was fundamentally skilled with his athleticism would have been a better fighter. Look at Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is built off athleticism and power. Teofimo Lopez really can't deal with legitimate boxers with fundamentals. Look at Devin Haney. Father trainer. Go out there and get destroyed. Father don't know what to tell him. Father almost let him die in the ring, to be honest with y'all. If you go back and you watch that fight, Ryan even telling them, man, stop the fight. Stop the fight. But this is what happened when these fathers want to get praise, when they want to be superstars beside their sons. The sport is too dangerous for that. The sport is too dangerous for that. Like I said, these dudes out there, it's folks dying in the ring. You get punched anywhere in your head, and you don't know if you may make it that night. So to send your son out there because you want 10%, or because you want to be known as his trainer, his trainer or his manager, which you can't manage him right, as we just seen with the Brian Norman situation. You see what I'm saying? You putting your son's career in bad situation. Floyd Schofield and his father, another Devin Haney situation. People don't like Floyd Schofield's father. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with Devin Haney. People don't like them because of their mouth. They always doing this and saying that, which we understand that, hey, promote your son, support your son. That's great. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But the way they go about it at times make people dislike them, and that brings dislike towards their son. When Devin Haney lost, people were saying that, a lot of people were hating on Devin, jealous of Devin because he had money, and that wasn't the case. A lot of people were happy Devin Haney lost because we got a chance to see Bill Haney lose. Devin Haney's loss went towards Bill Haney because of the antics and the things that Bill Haney do in the sport of boxing. Sorry about that, my phone slipped. So, Boots Ennis. Y'all just seen Boots being trained by his father. Now, from what I understand, Boots Ennis, was a professional, or he boxed at some point. But these fathers get there and they're not doing what's necessary to make their sons' fundamentals and skills show out like they're supposed to. Because Boots had no business with I think he had a 7-inch reach advantage out there going toe to toe in a huddle punching match with Karen. So this is showing you the lack of fundamentals and knowledge when these fathers are around. Not hating on it. It's great that it's great that they have their fathers in their life and stuff, but these fathers are damaging their careers and they bringing them a lot of losses, and they're gonna lose a lot of fights due to the fact that they don't have the real old school or trainers beside them, or guys who actually been in the ring before to show their sons the fundamentals, help them with their mistakes, what they need to do. These fathers, like you said, Martin P. Hampton, you think they care they making their son rich? Y'all just talking. See, this is the person who don't know nothing about boxing. See, he just came in late in the video and he don't understand what I'm talking about, because boxing is too dangerous and to be just focused on making your son rich. See, that's what you're not understanding, Martin. You see what I'm saying? That's exactly why I'm making this video. They so focused on making their son rich that they're destroying their careers. They have people disliking their sons. They have promoters and other people who could put them in situations disliking them. Teofimo is a prime example of what I'm talking about. Teofimo got his father in his ear. He also got his alter ego or his arrogant attitude, which is stopping Teofimo from being a star. Because he got his father there running his mouth. His father's supposed to be his manager. Your father ain't never probably managed nothing, and he destroying your career. Teofimo can't get fights because they say Teofimo Lopez shut down opportunities. He don't like to fight on Friday nights. He like to fight on Saturdays. That's why you getting paid what you getting paid, because people at top rank don't like dealing with him. Even Bob Arum said he loved Teofimo Lopez as a fighter. He said, but the kid is nutty. And when you hear him talk, he literally acts nutty about situations. You know, to say he's undisputed, stuff like that, you know, that don't mean nothing to Teofimo Lopez. But these fathers are destroying these kids' career. A father got pride, and you look at your child a little more supernatural. I can understand that a father having pride in his son, but this is not football. This is not basketball. This is, you can literally die from a punch sport. You can literally die. I don't want my son to be rich that bad. I don't want my face to be seen. I'd rather be like Al Heyman with my son than for me to be showing my face every day, getting 10% of my son's money, and my son going out there getting beat the hell out of like Devin Haney just did. I'd rather be the father type, Al Heyman type, sit back and watch my son with a trainer who know what he talking about, who been in the ring before, who a former world champion, if not a former world champion, he been in that ring before. He know everything, the inside out of, who can train my son to be a better fundamental all-around fighter than me sitting up there showing up and talking trash and trying to be seen and trying to take some money. I'd rather stand in the background and let my son be one of the best in the sport of boxing. You see what I'm saying? There'll never be another Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather got hands put on him by his father to make him perfect like that. That's why you never see Floyd really make mistakes in the ring, because his father knew, his father been in the ring. His father know what it's like to get punched in the face, to get hurt. So he trained his son to never allow that to happen. And if I got to slap you around, which I don't condone, but it made Floyd one of the best fighters of all time. One of the best fighters of all time. If I got to slap you around, if I got to punch you to show you that you're making a mistake in a sport where you can die in, then that's what these fathers need to do. But all this running around and you got the big gold chain on and, you getting all the notoriety of your son's wins, you know what I'm saying? But can't take when people criticize you when he lose, like what's going on with Bozy Ennis right now. The fact that he was up there telling his son to go out there, just go knock him out, get him out of there. Instead of you saying, stay focused, keep using your jab. You got a 7-inch reach advantage. Come behind your jab. You see what I'm saying? Could it be sometimes that the emotional support in there sometimes, stop these fathers from being good trainers? That could be it too. Because it's not helping these guys out here. As a father, I would literally step out the way. Now, son, you made it. We done got you a title. You at where you at from your ability, but I think we need to bring somebody else in to help you. Because there's things that I can't teach you. I've never boxed before. Ryan Garcia. Look at Ryan Garcia. And in these situations, if you notice, most of these fighters with fathers have gaps in their boxing fundamentals. Ryan Garcia still balling up like he diving in the swimming pool, like he doing cannonballs in the swimming pool. This come from them growing up, training, which they fathers made them millionaires. Their fathers got them a career. Shout out to the fathers. But going and being raised by these fathers who didn't have no boxing background, when they get in there with somebody like who has the skill set of a Floyd, they're gonna get wore out. They're gonna get defeated because they weren't trained to have that type of skill set or how to deal with it. That's all I'm basically saying. I'm not hating on the fathers. You know, hey, if your son wants you to continue to be the trainer of him, hey, I don't blame him. You know, you keep doing your thing. But I've been watching boxing since I was 8 years old. And I clearly see from what's being trained today, go back and watch 90s boxing, 80s boxing. Look at the skill set of boxers, how they could slip and catch punches. And look at the skills. It was trainers showing them this stuff. Real deal trainers. There wasn't no fathers out there for real training their sons. That's why you see the technique is not the same no more. See, a lot of people don't know. They ain't been watching boxing long enough to see the switch. Look, go back and watch the heavyweights. Heavyweights was technical back in the 90s and 80s. It wasn't just this. It wasn't none of that. It was catching, slipping, rolling. Even heavyweights was skillful back in the day. Now all you see these dudes, they want to finesse and they want to look pretty and Floyd Mayweather style, don't want to get hit. Same technique, same, all of them look the same. All of them look the same. Not all the fighters out there today. You know, Tank, he don't look, Tank different, Bud different, David Benavidez different. But a lot of these, and let me say it, I'm gonna be real with you, a lot of these black guys, they want to be out there like Floyd. Like Shockey, who just got his belt back. Good he got his belt back because he really won that fight. What's his name? Shockey? Whatever his name is. Y'all know he got Robson Conceição took his belt. He lost that fight because he out there. True enough, he won, but you got to go out there and fight. You have to go out there and fight. You cannot be out there trying to finesse and look flashy and look pretty and ain't doing nothing. And then when you lose your title, you sit there want to cry and look crazy. Oh, they robbed me. You ain't do nothing. You ain't do nothing. You got to fight. You got to fight. So, you know, it was a recent situation where another fighter, people was complaining, but he didn't really do enough to win. I can't remember the fight, but you know, it's you got to go out there and you got to be willing to, you know what I'm saying, give everything in a fight, man. You can't be going out there with that finesse and looking pretty and all that stuff. But that's just my opinion on it, y'all. I'm on my little break before I go back to work, so that's just all I had to say about it. I think these fathers out here, you know, destroying their sons' careers is trying to be managers, you know, and trying to, you know, be in the limelight, keep the 10%, you know, step aside and let your son be great, man. You know, let him get trained by somebody else, a real deal trainer, to help what he already has. You know what I'm saying? You can only get better with other people around, with new advice coming in. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion of it. This your boy Easy Work. Let me know how y'all feel in the comment section. I'm out.